Kankara, a small village in northern Nigeria, lay nestled between vast savanna and rock hills. The village was vibrant with culture, its air filled with the aroma of fried masa and suya. The clanging sound of metal pots and the rhythmic beats of drums during ceremonies brought life to the community. But beneath this serene exterior, secrets festered, hidden in the shadow of mud brick houses. Amina, a bright-eyed girl with a curious spirit, lived with her parents and four younger siblings in a modest hut. Her father, Malam Sani, was a farmer, and her mother, Lami, sold vegetables at the market. Though they had little, their family was filled with laughter and love. At 13, Amina's biggest dream involved finishing school and becoming a nurse, a rare aspiration in a village where girls were often married off young. One market day, while helping her mother sell okra and tomatoes, Amina met Abdul. He was older, perhaps in his mid-twenties, with a charming smile and an easy laugh. Abdul had recently moved to Kankara from the bustling city of Kano, where he claimed to have worked as a teacher. He often bought vegetables from Lami, and over time, he began to strike up conversation with Amina. At first, it was innocent. Abdul would ask about her school, her favorite subjects, and what she wanted to become. He spoke of the city, painting it as a place of endless opportunity. Amina was captivated by his stories, imagining herself walking along tall buildings, wearing a nurse's uniform, and helping those in need. Abdul's visits to their market stall became more frequent. He started bringing small gifts, biscuits, notebooks, and once a pair of shoes. Lami, pleased with Abdul's generosity, often left him alone with Amina, believing his interest was harmless. One evening, Abdul invited Amina to his rented room, claiming he had a surprise for her. Her youthful curiosity overshadowed any caution. She slipped away from home, her heart racing with excitement. When she arrived, Abdul handed her a cold drink. The room spun soon after. Darkness swallowed her, and when she woke, confusion and pain gripped her. Abdul sat nearby, his expression unchanging. "Don't tell anyone," he whispered, his voice a mixture of threat and plea. "No one will believe you." Amina returned home, her innocence shattered. She withdrew into herself, her laughter replaced with silence. Her mother noticed the change, but attributed it to the usual woes of adolescence. When Amina started to feel nauseous, Lami gave her herbs for a stomach upset, but the symptoms worsened. When Amina's belly began to swell, rumors started spreading. Women whispered behind their wrappers, children pointing, men exchanged knowing glances. Amina felt their stories and stares pierce her skin like needles. Finally, Lami confronted her daughter. The truth tumbled out between sobs, each word heavier than the last. Malansani, upon hearing the truth, erupted with fury. The village elders called for a meeting. Malam Sani, once a respected man, sat with his hand hung low. Amina stood before them, her small frame dwarfed by the council's imposing presence. Abdul, when confronted, denied everything. His charisma twisted the truth, painting Amina as a wayward girl who sought him out. In the eyes of many, Abdul's word overweighed Amina's. The elders suggested sending Amina away to avoid further shame. Malam Sani, torn between love for his daughter and the weight of tradition, remained silent. Lami, however, refused to let Amina be cast out. She stood before the council, her voice unwavering. "If you will not protect my daughter, I will." Under the cover of darkness, Lami led Amina to the bus station with a small bundle of clothes and a few naira notes. They boarded a rickety bus bound for Kano. The journey was long, the road bumpy, but neither mother nor daughter spoke. Their fear sat between them, unspoken but palpable. Kano was a different world, loud, crowded, and relentless. They found refuge at a woman's shelter, where Lami took up work as a cleaner. Amina was enrolled in a support group for young mothers. Here, she met women with stories like hers, of betrayal, loss, and survival. She learned about her body, her rights, and the world beyond Kankara. Months passed. Amina gave birth to a baby girl, whom she named Rama, meaning mercy. With the support of the shelter, she returned to school. She studied hard, her eyes set on her dream of becoming a nurse. Lami, despite her exhaustion, smiled whenever she saw Amina with a book, pride radiating from her tired face. Back in Kankara, life went on. Abdul, emboldened by his escape from consequences, continued his predatory ways until one of his victims spoke up. This time, the elders listened. Abdul was driven out of the village, his reputation tarnished. Years later, Amina returned to Kankara not as a victim but as a nurse. She set up a small clinic with funds from an NGO that supported young mothers. Her clinic became a haven, offering not just medical care but education about consent, health, and self-worth. The same elders who once shamed her now praise her work. Amina's story spread. She was invited to speak in schools and at women's group. She encouraged young girls to find their voices, to seek help, and to never let anyone steal their future. Lami, now older but still resilient, stood her side, her daughter's greatest supporter. One day, news came that Abdul had been arrested in a neighboring town. His crimes had finally caught up with him. For Amina, it was not just justice, it was closure. She visited him in prison, not to confront him, but to show him that despite his actions, she had risen. His chains were visible, but hers had long broken. Amina Clinic grew, attracting volunteers and funding. She built a school where girls learned not just arithmetic and grammar, but also self-respect and courage. Rama, now a bright young girl, often played among the patients, her laughter a reminder that hope could bloom from the darkest place. And so, in the village of Kankara, where secret once thrived, Amina's story became a legend, not of shame, but of strength. The young girl who was pregnant at 13 had become a beacon of light, guiding others out of the shadows.